I was just thinking to myself today how much all of my priorities have changed since changing my diet and lifestyle. And I'm sure that's a given, when you change these big parts of your life, a lot of things will change with that and follow. But it's amazing how different I am as a person. And so I was just thinking about how much I used to care what people thought of me, their opinions. I would leave a discussion with a group of people and overanalyze what I said and how I acted, and oh, why did I say that, and all this sort of stuff. Really quite pathetic behaviour, but that's who I was. And obviously I was metabolically sick and I wasn't robust because perhaps my gut was compromised. Therefore my brain and my thoughts were compromised. They were all over the place. I wasn't steady, no foundation. Could have toppled over if the wind picked up, Where these days I don't let it bother me what people think. I couldn't care less what people think. It's great when you've got some lovely people that root for you and they're very supportive, they're behind you. Obviously appreciate all of that very, very much. I suppose I'm saying that the negative criticism, the ad hominem attacks, people's opinions of me, that's entirely their business. That I'm not going to try and change those people's opinions. That's crazy, right? That's pathetic. And so, look, I didn't do this on purpose. I'm wearing a salmon coloured top. It's inside out. I've got this crazy hole that's appeared there. That's just what I put on after I got back from work, and I'm comfortable, right? I only need to be comfortable. I'm in my own house. Obviously, I'm making a video now. I'm probably in multiple people's houses now, but I don't really care what people think of me. And it's really quite liberating because I used to be so different, completely the other way around, and it would bother me. Everything would bother me. Where these days, it's like, I know who I am who I am, and you don't have to like that. And I think obviously having a YouTube channel, you have to be able to continue to make videos despite the fact that there's always going to be hate, always going to be negative criticism, or just like personal attacks. I find that always quite interesting. When you wake up and you just read the first comment, it's like, oh, okay, strange. So what a strange, sad individual, Well, I don't usually pray for anybody, but I consider praying for those people because I can only imagine that they're really miserable and afraid, like seriously scared. Because anyone who's angry or violent is scared. That's what that is. That's how that manifests. It's coming from a place of fear. If you had love and support and you were robust and the way you viewed the world and yourself was healthy, why would you feel like that? If somebody attacks me, I don't feel any hurt from that. I just can't help but think how hurt that individual must be, because it always is coming from a place of fear. And I suppose I've known that for a long time, but those situations used to really bother me. It came from naturally being an introvert, I think. And so I held myself back. I would say no to things because I was afraid. I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to succeed. And all of that's changed. I think I would just say yes to things because I think, well, that's the best way to go, right? It's more positive. You put yourself out there, it could lead to something amazing, and you just never know. And this is really true. I think, you don't have to literally go outside to put yourself out there. Now we've got the internet. You can just put up a video and things happen. So, totally different now. I'm kind of more of a yes man rather than shy away, and because things don't bother me as much. And if I was to fail, I haven't actually failed. I just learned something, or a bunch of things. And there's no such thing as wrong, really, in that sense. If I made a bad video, it's not wrong, but I can learn from that video and get it right. So anyway, I think some other things from a financial perspective have really changed as well. I used to put a lot of effort into how I looked. I would buy trainers all the time, just sort of like high quality goods, just stuff and things that are meaningless, that now they hold no value whatsoever as long as it does the job. Like, for example, looking at my bed, it works. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care if it looks great or if you like it or not. It's just a bed. It does. I sleep in it, and I can get some good sleep now. I'm on a carnivore diet. It's interesting, as a window cleaner, I see a very diverse lot of people. I feel like I've seen it all. These rich people, poor people, big houses, small houses, old, young, first-time buyers, people that have travelled and lived everywhere and done everything. And there's one common theme between 99% of these people, and they all eat crap. They all eat garbage. So there's me, a window cleaner, and sometimes, and no offense if anybody's watching this, I doubt any of my customers are watching this, but I have a lot of rich customers and I clean some very big houses. They're very fortunate, and some of them are very, very, very lovely, right? But there are some, and they sort of like look down their nose at me because I'm a window cleaner, and I don't talk about my music. I don't talk about my skills, my ability to paint, the fact that I have a channel, my passions, because I think, well, you've showed your true character. You've chosen to just put me in this box. I'm a window cleaner, and that's all I am to you. And it's funny that I do often say I'm just a window cleaner. I guess that's kind of a joke because there is a lot more to me than a window cleaner. That doesn't define me, but I'm not bothered if people think that I'm just a window cleaner. That's cool. You can guess whatever you want and have whatever opinion of me that you want. I will sleep fine that night. But it's interesting because I look in something, I can't help it, right? I've seen a lot of things going on, good and bad, but I do notice people's pantries and what they've got on their worktops in the kitchen. And it's funny because all these rich people, they eat like slaves. They got grains and seed oils and jam and bread just sitting out, and you think, what is that? And there's me, window cleaner, they're looking down their nose at me. I go home and eat a load of red meat and eggs, butter and fish. And I've got some oxtail soup that's going to be ready in about an hour, and I can't wait. And so I feel very fortunate. I'm eating like a king, but that's now my priority, is the food that I eat. If you think in a wild setting, someone that was rich would be able to hunt and provide. Like, you were rich if you had a big kill and you were eating that night, and you were going to be able to eat for a few days. You're rich, right? If you've got support and family and love and food and shelter and materials to do what you need to do to survive and to even thrive in that context, you're rich. And so that's how I see the world now. I don't care about how small or pretty this box that I live in is. It's a box, and I leave this box to go out in the world and obviously make money. We're not going out hunting anymore, but that is my equivalent. I see that I go out and I clean windows and I make enough money, and then I purchase some meat. That was me going hunting and bringing back the kill, and I provide for myself and my family. And obviously there is excess money that I need to cover the bill, the mortgage, etc. And obviously that is a priority. That has to be met. I have to be able to upkeep and maintain and to pay for the things that I need to be able to sustain the life that we all have, me, Lucy and Sky. But food is right there. It's up there with it, because what have we got if we haven't got health and time? And time, we only have time if we're healthy. And so food is my priority. I justify spending what looks like quite a lot of money on food. Some people, and look, if I continue this way with what I'm earning right now, which isn't a lot of money, okay, I'm not trying to, boohoo me, but I'm always looking like I'm near broke. Just being honest, right? I'm self-employed. I pay all my taxes. I do that all myself, but I work off of sheets that it belongs to somebody else, and I get 65%. And then I pay all my tax and I spend a lot of money on red meat. Okay, I don't have a lot of money after that, but I have love, I have support, and I have a robust gut and what I've got left of it, and a robust brain and mindset. I sleep pretty well the way I live my life. I don't take anything toxic to bed with me because I feel like I'm living a righteous life. I believe I'm a force for good in the world. I try to be as accurate and helpful as possible. They are my priorities. My family, my health, and maintaining that, and then trying to help and inspire other people based on where I find myself now and where I've come from, and I know what that feels like, that contrast. I don't like the idea of our children and kids and this new generation growing up eating just sugar and gluten and glyphosate for breakfast, and then going to school. There's no meat there because that's been banned. They don't get enough sunlight. They're constantly exposed to isolated blue light and screens, and they're just addicted on this never-ending scroll and the chemicals in the food, and they're just sitting there, just degenerate, this poor little thing that couldn't help that, but this is the world we live in. I'm trying to do my part to change that, and it almost seems impossible, I have to say. It seems impossible at times, but I'm doing my best. I'm playing my part, and I feel good about that. I'd like to think I'm a force for good in the world. And all I know is that I get emails every single week from people that thank me, and it's beautiful, And again, don't think that this is me, it's going to my head. No, not at all. I mean, these people say, thanks, you're the reason why I went carnivore. I met some people at the conference who were like, I'm here, you're the reason I'm here. It's amazing to hear stuff like that. It's like, and maybe, I don't know, I guess I do have some level of ego and some level of pride, hopefully within a healthy threshold, but that makes me feel good about the life that I'm living. And I wouldn't change that. I can't. Why would I take that back? I'm proud of that. And I'm proud that I have what I believe good, healthy priorities. Money, we all need money. We need enough money. I'm not greedy. I'm not a greedy person. And it would be great. Believe me, I would only sleep better if I had more money. I would love to buy a big green egg, to have a lovely barbecued meat and smoked meat, whatever I fancy, just sitting in the garden. But I don't, because I don't. I'd love to have a better van. I would love to have some better equipment for my window cleaning. I would love to have a grand piano on a balcony as you enter the house. Nothing like a monstrosity of a house. I'm not a showy off type of person, but I would love that. That a beautiful grand piano, and you got this sort of natural reverberation. And there's lots of things, if I had a load of money, that I would buy, often just to solve problems and to make life easier. But I'm really quite content with being healthy and having my healthy family around me who I love and support, vice versa, and just to maintain that as I age, hopefully gracefully, and embrace my death, whatever it might be, when it comes, and everybody else's, and try and understand, it's a part of life, and I've had a good life. I've had some crazy things happen to me, I think when you've been, I don't know what I can say, suicidally depressed, and, coming from that position and having 2 major surgeries, lots of pain and all these kinds of problems, when you come out of that, you don't really fear a lot. I'm pretty strong. It's going to take a hurricane to even knock me off balance. And so I feel good and I'm content. And I think the fact that I can look after myself now, which I certainly couldn't before, I can start focusing on other people. And that is when life begins.